Okay, so for this last type that we're going to deal with in this section, we're going to do equations involving absolute value. So the concept here is, and again, these are dashes, not negatives. Please recognize that. Is normally we say like the square root of 3, or sorry, excuse me, the absolute value of 3 is 3, and the absolute value of -3 is 3. It takes any value and turns it to its positive. So when you have something like the absolute value of x is 7, then we have to take into account that x could either be the value 7 or the value -7. So we basically have to kind of bring this in. Now, the way that we're going to do this is similar to some of the other methods that we've seen here. We are going to isolate and get that absolute value bar set by itself. Then we're going to take the interior and set it equal. You'll see how this happens when I do the example. And then we'll solve. Now, one thing to note is absolute value does always give back a positive answer. So if you get absolute value bars by themselves and it says that it equals a negative answer, that is not solvable, okay? But you cannot make that decision until the absolute value bars are by themselves. So the example that we're going to look at here is we've got absolute value of 2x minus 1 equals 5. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and move across here. And I have tried to darken my bars up here so that you can tell. Now, this one's already nice and pretty that we have the isolation bars by themselves. But let's say that we'd had something like -3 absolute value bars, something like this, okay? You cannot say that this is not solvable just because I have bars against this. Because when we go and divide by that -3, we get this, okay? And that is now solvable. Now, notice, though, that I did have to take care of this. You are not allowed to distribute into a set of absolute value bars, okay? So that's another neat thing to note. Now, again, I'm going to use kind of a marker here to cover this up. The absolute value of my marker is 5. That means my marker could either be the value 5 or -5. So I'm going to set it up as such. So I'm going to have equals 5 equals -5. And then we're just going to bring into play this. Okay. So over here, I'm going to add 1. I'll divide by 2. So I've got x equals 3. There's one of my answers. I'm going to add 1. So that's 2x equals -4. We're going to divide by 2, and I get x is -2. And there is my other answer for that one.